A company spends 800,000 pesos on an enterprise asset management system. 18 months later, the maintenance team is still using spreadsheets. The software isn't the problem. The failure happens because the system was bought to solve a problem that a computerized maintenance management system, costing a tenth as much, would have solved. It was a mismatch between the software tier and the actual operational need. To avoid this, you have to distinguish between three specific categories: CMMS, EAM, and IIoT platforms. The software that fits your situation depends on your scale and your existing systems, not on which vendor has the most impressive feature list. The maintenance market is full of overlapping claims. CMMS vendors say they do EAM. EAM vendors say they integrate with everything. Every IIoT platform has a maintenance module they call a CMMS. This confusion leads companies to buy a 1.2 million peso EAM when their primary issue was simple work order tracking. Or they buy a CMMS and wonder why it doesn't predict machine failure, a task that requires the real-time sensors of an IIoT platform. These systems serve different maturity levels. We've seen this play out everywhere, from small manufacturers with 50 employees to multi-site enterprises managing thousands of assets across several countries. You don't need to learn every feature of every system. You only need to answer one question: what specific problem are you trying to solve right now? A CMMS, or Computerized Maintenance Management System, is a work order engine. It digitizes the process of creating work orders, assigning them to technicians, tracking spare parts, and logging basic equipment history. Without one, maintenance usually relies on verbal requests, whiteboard schedules, and paper job cards. A CMMS replaces that chaos with a searchable, trackable record. This is generally the right starting point for a facility with 50 to 500 assets and a maintenance team of 3 to 20 people currently using paper or spreadsheets. Entry-level SaaS tools cost between 1,500 and 4,000 pesos per user per month. On-premise licenses for teams that need to keep data local can range from 50 to 200,000 pesos. A CMMS does have limits. It typically doesn't manage complex financial asset hierarchies or integrate with real-time machine condition data. The software creates a structured flow. A request is created, assigned to a technician, the work is completed, and the documentation is logged. This structure ensures that preventative maintenance tasks and inventory counts are recorded rather than forgotten. EAM, Enterprise Asset Management, is an extension of the CMMS built for the full asset lifecycle. It manages assets as financial instruments as much as operational ones. On top of work orders, it handles asset depreciation, procurement workflows, and regulatory compliance documents like calibration certificates or permit-to-work management. This is for large organizations with 500 or more assets, where maintenance costs must flow directly into a corporate ERP system for financial tracking. These systems require significant investment, ranging from 500,000 pesos for mid-market options to over 20 million for enterprise-wide implementation. Because EAM is so complex, it only works if your organizational processes are already mature.
If a team isn't consistently using a basic CMMS, a more expensive system will not fix the process. An IIoT platform monitors machine condition in real time. It collects data from sensors, like vibration or temperature, and generates alarms when a machine deviates from normal operating parameters. It is a data platform, not a work order system. It doesn't replace the CMMS for scheduling people or tracking parts. The value comes from integration. When an IIoT alarm fires because vibration exceeds a threshold, it automatically triggers a work order in your CMMS. The specific condition data causing the alarm attaches to the ticket, so the technician knows exactly why they were dispatched. This is how predictive maintenance actually works. The IIoT platform provides the sensor data, and the CMMS provides the response system. In a modern manufacturing environment, these systems form a 3-layer stack. Layer 1, the IIoT platform, collects condition data and identifies developing failures. Layer 2, the CMMS or EAM, receives those triggers and manages the human response, including labor and parts. Layer 3, the ERP, receives the financial data to post maintenance costs to corporate cost centers. Most facilities should implement these in order. Get a CMMS first to build a foundation, add an IIoT platform second for prediction, Only move to EAM when you have the scale and financial complexity to require it. This sequence prevents budget waste and ensures the team is ready for the data load of each new system. When choosing a CMMS, focus on the mobile experience. Technicians often work inside control panels or steel structures that block signals, so the app must function reliably without an internet connection to ensure data is actually captured on the floor. For EAM, prioritize how it integrates with your specific ERP and whether it can support the hierarchy of multiple sites natively. For IIoT platforms, evaluate connectivity. With hundreds of devices sending data, you need an efficient protocol like MQTT. The platform also needs a database designed for time series data to store thousands of sensor readings every minute without slowing down your dashboards. A long-term strategic risk is vendor lock-in. If a vendor stores your operational data in a proprietary format that you can only access through their interface, it becomes difficult and expensive to switch tools or scale in the future. Any platform you select should allow you to export your raw data in open formats like CSV or JSON. Keeping control of your operational data is what allows you to adapt your technology as your facility grows. 3 systems, 3 purposes. One wrong choice wastes both your budget and your team's patience. To find your starting point, define your primary maintenance problem in one sentence. We can't track who is doing what work. That is a CMMS problem. We need to manage 1,500 assets across 4 sites with ERP integration. That requires EAM. We need to know when machines will fail before they break. That requires IIoT. Next week, we'll look at the cost of unplanned downtime to help you calculate the specific return on an IIoT investment. Subscribe to stay updated. Selecting the tool that matches your operational reality is the first step toward a more predictable maintenance schedule.